Lemming and the team just revealed a new sneak peek from their new virtual reality multiplayer game, and it's crazy, so make sure to watch till the end to learn everything you need to know. Before we start, I want to make it very clear that Lemming is not going to quit working on Gorilla Tag, and no, Gorilla Tag is not shutting down. Stop typing your comments, I see you typing right now. Take your hands off your keyboard. So for those who don't already know, a few months ago I made this video talking about how Lemming is going to be working on a new VR game. Well, we just got a bunch of updates to look at. Here's an article from Road to VR that says Gorilla Tag Studio teases next title, a spiritual successor to EchoVR, but so much more. I'm not sure how many of you played EchoVR, but it recently shut down, and it was Lemming's favorite VR game, which actually inspired Gorilla Tag. So it's not that surprising that he's trying to make a similar game now. Oh, I almost forgot to mention, we're less than 2,000 subscribers away from 100k. If you don't subscribe, I hope you accidentally drink expired milk. Yeah, I said it. While Gorilla Tag is still going strong, the studio behind the game, another Axiom, is already working on something new. Project A2, its codename, is shaping up to look like a spiritual successor to Echo Arena, the popular VR sport that was infamously shuttered by Meta. The studio published this first in-development glimpse of the game, which shows something undoubtedly like Echo VR, both in look and feel. Now, I don't know about you, but that looks pretty fun to me, and it's still very early development, so just imagine how the game will look when it's ready. The studio plans to give Project A2 a seamless social structure, where game maps and modes are realized as stations that players can navigate between by traveling through the game world. Don't like how people are playing in one station? Wander off and find a new group of players down the hall. This social structure can lead to that kind of happenstance networking that delights us in the real world. Maybe you're wandering down the hall, you peek into a station and hear a funny conversation that has nothing to do with the game itself, but you decide to pop in and join the group for some laughs. Project A2 is a full circle moment for the studio. Its co-founder, Carousel Smith, has said that EchoVR, before it was shut down, was his original inspiration for Gorilla Tag. EchoVR was the first game that really made me certain VR was going to be transformative. I got so into it that I started competing, which I had never done before, and my team, Eclipse, ended up winning the first 2 championships, Lemming said. Its unique zero-gravity arm-based locomotion was one of the first key inspirations for Gorilla Tag's movement system. But this isn't just an EchoVR remake. Another Axiom has an ambitious plan to make Project A2 a much more special VR experience by incorporating and expanding some of Gorilla Tag's underappreciated innovations. Yes, Gorilla Tag has a novel locomotion and capitalizes on the seemingly innate human experience of tag, but the game's seamless social structure, where game lobbies are places and changing game modes is as natural as walking between rooms, is another key element to its success. While Project A2 could revive the essence of EchoVR, it will be interesting to see how players of the original game and those of Gorilla Tag receive another Axiom's spin on zero-gravity locomotion. Fundamentally, the studio appears to be building on the foundation of Gorilla Tag's movement, which, as we mentioned, was inspired by EchoVR's movement. But Project A2 will make some key tweaks. The studio writes, "Learn more about our new approach to zero-gravity movement. We're targeting human-scale speeds with more physicality, hand-based collision, sliding, and pedal-based momentum mechanics, all while using very few controller inputs. We have removed the ability to grab flat walls, only allowing grabbing on bars and handles that your fingers could wrap around. We hope this model will follow people's expectations of how hands work in real life, while adding depth and a high skill ceiling by layering multiple physical mechanics together." Now here's another huge update. Lemming and the team also made a new Discord server specifically for the new game, and you can join too. I'll leave a link in the description of the video if you're interested. But this Discord server is packed with new interesting information about the game, as well as a first real life event. But More on that later, so keep watching. In this announcement, they said that they are selecting the first small group of closed early access participants in early September, kind of like the Finger Painter or Alpha Access groups. They're aiming for around 20 people in total, and that will add on more people to the closed early access program each month. In this message, they announced their first ever in-person event, which will be held in Las Vegas. Another Axiom is happy to officially announce the A2 community first look. A2 is being developed with the community in mind, so it is high priority to make sure you have a voice in the future goals and directions of the game. With that in mind, Another Axiom is hosting a live preview and feedback event in Las Vegas this October. Who? The Another Axiom developer team, you, and the rest of the Zero Gravity VR community. All are welcome to attend, though space is limited. Attendees under the age of 18 must be accompanied by a guardian. I would definitely go if the plane ticket prices weren't so high. But hey, Lemming, if you wanna fly me out, then wink wink, nudge nudge, I'll go. David N then said this: just over a year ago, Another Axiom was a team of one, Lemming, who had an idea that he wanted to try, inspired by what he had played as a VR early adopter. That idea turned into Gorilla Tag. Part of what made Gorilla Tag unique was how he talked with the VR community from the beginning. He shared early screenshots and builds with people far earlier than most developers do, so he could rapidly iterate. This has been well documented publicly. On the Gorilla Tag Discord, it's possible to scroll all the way back to the very beginning to see those first screenshots. There are a few really good history of Gorilla Tag videos out there that show the historical development progression. Yeah, both of my videos. You should totally watch them after this video if you haven't already. Another Axiom is now a team of 50 plus people making Gorilla Tag, and our new project that we codenamed A2. While the team has rapidly grown, we want to keep the same radically open development used for Gorilla Tag. We are excited about the idea of sharing prototypes and concepts that are freshly made, even if that work will ultimately be thrown away and rebuilt with even better ideas. We think we can achieve something special by working together from the very beginning. Then he talks about the Vegas event, and there's a lot of information to read. So if you're planning on going, then pause the video and read.
Then he talks about some of the features that they're planning on talking about at the event, like how you can travel through different stations or floating through the locker rooms. He also mentions the game mechanics, so you can learn more about their new approach to zero gravity movement, the level editor, which means you and your friends can build your own game modes, and the community stations. So they're going to be talking about how you can run your own server, you can change your rule sets, moderate and customize the look and feel of activities, posters, game modes, and more.
Then another developer posts a link to the tickets, and it seems like they're going for $30 a person, both adults and kids, and it will be held at the Keep Memory Alive Event Center, which is this crazy looking building. That just looks awesome. So anyways, if you're like me and you're looking forward to the release of this new game, then you'll be pleased to hear that they're planning on launching the first open lab build in early 2024. So we're not that far away from the first build of the game. But what do you think? Will this game be as successful as Gorilla Tag? Maybe even more successful? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. I always love reading the comments, and I try to respond to some of the ones that I see people put effort into typing. Anyways, subscribe!